Well, we were invited to the upshernes, the haircutting of our grandson Menachem LITZMAN on his 3rd birthday in Seoul, South Korea. So together with my daughter Rivka Leah and the in-laws of Osher's wife Musi, we boarded a Korean airline flight towards the end of Elul Tavshinayin Aleph, which means 2011, our suitcases loaded with all kinds of kosher food. The trip from Israel to Korea is the same distance as from Israel to New York, but in the opposite direction. So we passed by Europe, crossed the whole of Russia, India, China, until we landed safely, thank God, at the Incheon airport in Seoul. We enjoyed the flight. The air hostesses were very courteous. Seoul, a megacity with a population of over 10 million, is the largest city proper in the developed world. It is one of the world's top 10 financial and commercial centers. Israel has full diplomatic relations with South Korea. Most of the Jewish population in South Korea resides in Seoul, mainly business people, English language journalists and teachers, and of course tourists. The Jewish population is constantly in flux. In April 2008, Chabad House was established in Seoul under the direction of Rabbi Osher LITZMAN, accompanied by his wife Musi LITZMAN. As there were no synagogues in the country, Jews in Korea would have to go to the army base for Shabbat meals and holidays services. Since the establishment of the Chabad House, things have changed, and the first signs of a Jewish community have appeared. The Chabad House is a center for Jewish activities with services and meals on Shabbat and Jewish holidays, children's programs, and even a shop for obtaining kosher food. The Chabad House is situated in a prestigious area not far from the Hyatt Hotel and the IP Boutique Hotel, so you just walk down the steep lanes close to the Samsung Art Museum near the Itaewon station until you see the street called Yongsan Gu Hanam Dong. The Chabad House has a menorah on top of it. You're welcome to enter. Just remember to take off your shoes before stepping inside. That's a local custom. Our first encounter with the Jewish population was at the hair-cutting ceremony, a few days before Rosh Hashanah. 3-year-old Menachem was the center of the party. Each one of the guests was honored to cut off one of his golden locks. They were also given a bill to put into the charity box and a small jar of honey to be used for dipping the apple in honey for Rosh Hashanah. The Israeli ambassador to Korea took part in the festivity and was one of the first to cut Menachem's hair.
תעשי מקופה. לזכותו, כן, יופי. אמן, אמן.
לא, מנחם. גיב. עוד משהו? זה דבר שלכם. גם את זה לא...
We have a Kohen over here. יואב? יואב Kohen?
Here are local participants who were able to take off from work in order to take part. The grandparents also participated, of course. There is always something going on in the Chabad house. Every food item has to be prepared from scratch, including sifting the flour, baking chalat, and all the other food stuff. The kitchen was active the whole day and also most of the night hours. Rosh Hashanah with the following Shabbat means getting ready for 3 consecutive days with many guests. The ground floor is transformed into a big dining hall. The first night, 70 people participated, each one getting a challah and a piece of apple to dip in honey, pomegranate, and even a fish head for each one, although made out of jelly. The meals were great with singing, divrei Torah, stories. The participants came from all over the world: Israel, USA, Canada, England, Portugal, Sweden, Japan, Switzerland, and who knows from what other places. A woman from Argentina came a few minutes before nightfall on the first day of Rosh Hashanah. She almost gave up finding the Chabad house, but in the end she met an Israeli boy who studies in high school in Korea and is a regular Chabad house visitor. He showed her the house and she asked to hear the shofar blowing. She was standing there crying. It turned out that she had not heard the shofar during the past 30 years. At that Rosh Hashanah, she felt a strong urge to hear the shofar being blown. Then, after a few minutes, she left. It's not just taking care of all the regular Chabad house activities, but also to raise 3 small children to be fully aware Jews. They have to be taught the prayers and make sure that they pray every morning. Yehudit and Menachem know many prayers by heart. When it comes to hold the tzitzit during the Shema prayer, Menachem is not yet used to it, but his older sister Yehudit knows how to help him. Well, from where does she know? Probably from the book, how to do it. The children have a playpen upstairs. This time Rivka Leah took off from the kitchen work in order to help out with her nephew and nieces. During the day, the three small children have their afternoon nap upstairs. Maybe it is a local custom to sleep on a mattress, matching the color of the clothes. At least that rule goes for Yehudit and Menachem. Let's have a look at Chaya in the other room. Oh yeah, she also wears a matching dress. The parents are proud that their children sleep in the middle of the day, but do they really? Yehudit seems to be just pretending, and so does Menachem. Well, at least the small Chaya is asleep, or maybe not. One day we went to another city called Songtan in order to have made tailored capotes, etc. Osher took his tefillin with him since he wanted to see the only local Jew living there.
יש שם יהודי שגר ליד החייט הזה, צבאי, לכן...
We went by bus, and here in Korea you really have to know the Korean language, otherwise you might get completely lost with all these strange letters that you don't understand. Even before going to the house of that local Jew, the same man bumped into the tailor shop and was of course awarded by putting on tefillin. After 2 weeks, it was time to say goodbye to the Chabad House, to Menachem and Yudit, and Chayale, and we all hope to meet soon under happy circumstances, festive circumstances, all of us together in Eretz Yisrael. Bye for now.